Yo, what's up guys? Hope you all having a great day. Thank you for watching today and check out the Rust Console Edition Next Gen Patch Notes 1.4. And honestly, it's pretty huge. That's what she said. So I'm gonna skip around some of these. So if you guys want to check it out all for yourself, I'll put a link in the pinned comment as always. But I'm gonna just try to hit the important stuff. So I'll probably skip a decent amount of this stuff. Obviously, a lot of this stuff you're probably not even gonna care about or not even notice, and maybe you'll notice it during gameplay. But that being said, let's go ahead and check some of these out. So first up, they added a tip tool for the window when you're flying a vehicle, which is decent because I always crash vehicles. A lot of these community server changes is probably not going to be anything that you notice. It's mostly for admins and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and skip most of this stuff. Some of the gameplay stuff is pretty decent. We'll go ahead and read some of these. Changing flying vehicle controls to a different layout will now be applied correctly. Scrap transport helicopter no longer flips to the slightest collision. The camera angle of the driver's seat of the scrap transport helicopter is no longer tilted to the left. Destroying a patrol helicopter no longer makes it go through the world. Players are no longer able to loot airdrops with aerial vehicles. Train yard monument puzzle can no longer be accessible with aerial vehicles. Players will no longer get stuck in the visible walls in train yard. Here's a funny one. I didn't even know this was an issue. Throwing items into a tugboat while it's driving no longer causes it to flip over. That pissed me off. The hollow sight's reticle no longer disappears while you're in water. That's dope. Also, the looking through the hollow sight and the handmade no longer has that trailing issue, which is good. Upgrading high external wooden walls and gates now works as intended. And they fixed the new tool cupboard skin where your code lock, well, your locks and general tools don't disappear when reskinning it. That's good. And mixing tables now anchor properly to tugboats. For the visual changes, most of these are, they're good, but there's a lot of ones in here that you probably won't even notice. Just they improve the overall quality and reduce pixelation. The sun doesn't turn pink when it goes behind certain trees. They reduce some visual issues on cargo ship and train yard. The X marks on trees now move around with every hit like it's supposed to. Holding a Thompson or an M2 doesn't cause the magazine offset. It was like they fixed the hitbox on the shotgun trap so it matches the steam, which is pretty good. The snow biome now blends properly into the other biomes. White patches no longer appear randomly through terrain. That's pretty decent. The small oil refinery now lights up a small area when it's on, so that's pretty dope. Opening your inventory UI while facing a monument no longer causes flashing of visuals in the background, which is pretty dope. That was kind of a pain. I hated that. Skins will no longer turn pitch black. The default metal chestplate no longer turns white at distance. And these are just some random skin fixes and stuff. And now the Plague Doctor double barrel shotgun and semi-automatic now appear the right color. Which I thought that was, I don't know, they didn't seem pay to win anymore. The sites, I have to double check to see that they're still pay to win. I didn't really see anything that was that important here. I don't know, you guys might want to check it out for yourself in the UI. Audio fixes, I know people were going to be really happy with the audio fixes. Building skins now have the correct demolishing sound effect. Fix the audio of the scrap heli rotor blades. Restarting the motorboat no longer removes the audio. The volume of the M2 now matches the volume of the other weapons. The audio for the F1 grenades has been fixed. The recycler audio no longer plays when it's not being used, which was definitely a pain in a lot of the monuments. Those always made me think there's somebody recycling. I run over there and there'd be no one, so that kind of sucked. The heartbeat sensor can no longer be heard through walls, and fixed audio issues present at the warehouses at launch site. So overall, there's a lot of stuff in here. Like I said, I skipped a lot of it. So if you guys are interested, you can check it out. Honestly, a lot of this stuff you probably won't even notice, or you'll just, whatever, it'll just be like in gameplay. You'll be like, oh yeah, they fixed that, thank God. Anyways, if you guys want to stay up to date with Rust content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll catch you all later. Deuces.